What's happening, guys? My name is Adam, aka Speedy Spectrum, and welcome back to Let's Play and Dub Pokémon Fire Red. In the last episode, we explored Fort Island and reunited with Lorelei in the Icefall Cave. In this episode, we are going to explore not 5 Island, but 6 Island. At the end of the last video, I know I said we'd explore 5 Island, but I just remember that we need to grab something on 6 Island before we can head over there. By the way, this tune is a remix of the Violet City theme from Gold, Silver, and Crystal. I believe it also plays in Olivine City as well. But we can talk about that later. Let's head into the Pokémon Center. Oh joy! Look who it is!
Hey, Red! How's your Pokédex filling up? Looks like it's impossible to get all the Pokémon by hanging around just these parts. Maybe there are Pokémon we don't know about somewhere far away. Well, if I can't do it, there's no way for you to get it done. I'm not gonna get all desperate over this. I'll keep collecting Pokemon at my own pace while I train them. That's what I'll do. So there's no point in staying here. I may as well leave for home. That's that then. Smell you later.
Could this finally be some humility on Blue's part? Nah, who am I kidding? He's still the same jerk we fear and loathe. Although, I don't exactly fear him after all. I did beat him and become champion. But that's not important. What is important is here, the water path. It is here we can find some new Pokemon. First of all, in this grassy patch, we can catch Sentret. Number 161 in the Pokédex, Sentret is a normal type, and overall, it's pretty nah. Its stats are terrible, and I don't recommend it. You can catch it at a level close to evolution, and when it does evolve into Furret, it actually makes for a wonderful HM slave. It can even learn things like Surf and Waterfall and Strength and Cut and all sorts of different HMs. Really useful for that purpose, but not so great at everything else. If you take out your fishing rod, there are a couple of other Pokemon you can capture. First off, if you're playing Fire Red version like I am, you can catch Qwilfish. Qwilfish is number 211 in the Pokédex, and it is exclusive to Fire Red, as I mentioned. It's a water poison type, and it has a nice ability in Poison Point. And it also has spikes, which is something not a lot of water Pokemon can claim. But that's pretty much where the positives run out for Qwilfish, as its other stats are pretty subpar, and it's outclassed almost entirely by Tentacool. It wasn't until recently that Qwilfish obtained an alternative form, but in this game, it's pretty bad. Now, if you're playing Leaf Green, there's a chance that you can capture Remoraid. Number 223 in the Pokédex, Remoraid is a pure water type, and it's unusual. As you can see by its stats, it makes for a great mixed attacker. And when it evolves into Octillery, it gains a unique ability in Suction Cups, which negate attacks that force switching out. So attacks like Roar and Whirlwind won't work on Octillery. But the best thing about Remoraid is its move pool. Yes, it can learn water-type attacks, but it can also learn things like Lock-On, Psybeam, Thunderbolt, and Fire Blast. Yeah, that's pretty versatile. It even has a signature move called Octazooka, which deals damage in multiple hits, and it also lowers the opponent's accuracy. A gimmicky move, but still noteworthy. The downside is that Remoraid is quite slow. It would be much better if it was faster. But it's still a fun Pokemon to play around with. Alright, so here in the water path, I want to take this time to set up a repel, yet another super repel. I went to the Pokemart and purchased some Max Repels off screen, by the way. But back to what I was saying earlier. There are two different directions we could go. We could go to the north or we could go to the south, and I'm heading up to the north. I should mention there are a lot of trainers here. So be prepared for a workout. Also, let's take some time to grab that item that's stowed away down there. And it's an elixir. Always nice to restore the PP of certain moves. You don't have to travel to the north of Six Island, but there is something rather interesting that's lying in wait for us. This is not it. This is the Pattern Bush, which is a forested area, and there's also a new type of trainer that we haven't battled yet. Yes, indeed, this is a Pokemon breeder. Pokemon breeders typically use Pokemon, well, that have baby forms and can be bred. Case in point, this Chansey. Also, you will notice that I have made a roster change. I have switched out Overton for my Farfetch'd. The reason being is that we're going to need the move Cut. And I taught that to my Farfetch'd way back when we first arrived in Vermilion City. Remember? That bush that was blocking the way to the Vermilion Gym? Yeah. And God knows how many episodes later it has made a return. The Farfetch'd, I mean, not the bush. Alright, that is pretty much it for this battle. Fairly easy overall. We do raise our Pokemon with a whole lot of love. And speaking of Pokemon, there are some new ones available to us here in the Pattern Bush. The first of which is Ledyba. Number 165 in the Pokedex, Ledyba is a bug and flying type, and it sucks. A horrible type combination, lousy stats. Both of its abilities are bad. It may have high special defense, but that's hindered by its low HP. Not to mention, its move pool is absolutely abysmal. But on the bright side, when it evolves, it becomes a superhero. I find it ironic that it's classified as the 5-star Pokemon, and yet its battle capabilities are anything but. It's not great. But it was one of the first Generation 2 Pokemon introduced, so there's that. Next up, we have Spinarak, number 167 in the Pokedex. Spinarak is a bug and poison type, and it's not that much better than Ledyba. Its stats are also subpar, and it's really slow, but it can learn some rather unusual attacks. Not the least of which is Spider Web, which is a trapping move like Mean Look. Spinarak, along with its evolved form Ariados, are one of the few Pokemon that can learn it. That's interesting, but that's all that it is. Interesting, not good. The same, however, cannot be said for the other Pokemon we can encounter, and that is Heracross. Number 214 in the Pokedex, Heracross is one of my personal favorites. It's a bug and fighting type, And look at that physical attack. That is pretty awesome. Heracross is without question one of the greatest physical attackers in the entire game. It also can potentially have the ability Guts, which is also amazing, boosting its attack even more if it's afflicted with a status ailment. Not to mention, it can also learn Mega Horn, the most powerful bug-type move in the game, and it is especially powerful in Heracross's hands, given how good that physical attack stat is. Long story short, Heracross is a psychic Pokemon's worst nightmare. The only downsides about it is that it is on the slow side and it does have a quad weakness to flying. But if you can overcome that, Heracross is magnificent. Okay, praises aside, we're through the pattern bush and we've made it to the other side of the green path. Now, at the end of all of this water, there is in fact something waiting for us. It's not required, but it is interesting to talk about. This is Outcast Island, what we're coming up to right about now. Now, if you go all the way around, we can find that there's a Team Rocket member who I defeated off screen. But what makes this place interesting is this: the Altering Cave. At first glance, the Altering Cave doesn't have anything special that's inside it. And the only Pokemon you can encounter while you are here is Zubat. For the most part. You see, way back when the game was first released in Japan, there was a special event that was held, and you could access this event via Mystery Gift. The event changed the wild Pokemon encounters you could have in the Altering Cave, and many Pokemon could only be encountered exclusively in the Altering Cave, which is how you were meant to obtain them in Fire Red and Leaf Green. The downside is that this event was never released in the US, but it is still interesting to talk about. I'm not 100% sure what Pokemon you can encounter, but I do know for a fact that the wild encounters change depending on the day of the week. Now right here we have a PP up, very nice. And that's pretty much it for the Outcast Island. So I'm going to see you once I get back to shore. Okay, I'm back. And I decided to put up my last Super Repel because now we're going to head south, where even more trainers await us. Once again, I defeated them off screen. And we are now in the Ruin Valley, where we can encounter some new Pokemon. The first new encounter is Yanma. Number 193 in the Pokédex, Yanma is a bug and flying type. It's very, very fast, but pretty unremarkable everywhere else. And that's a shame because it does have two excellent abilities in Speed Boost and Compound Eyes. Compound Eyes can increase the Pokemon's accuracy, and Speed Boost raises speed at the end of each turn. They're really helpful abilities, and it would be better if Yanma was any good. But its typing is bad, its move pool is shallow, it's pretty generic. Once again, yet another Pokemon that would be so much better if it had its evolution, as Yanmega is an excellent, excellent, excellent special sweeper. In fact, it's a pretty good sweeper overall. But, alas, once again, this is Generation 3. And hey, we actually encountered one right now. How funny is that? The next Pokemon we can find is Natu. Number 177 in the Pokédex. Natu is a Psychic and Flying type. That's a pretty interesting combination. Its stats are alright, and it does learn some unusual moves like Wish, which can heal the HP of your party members, but it's best used as a support Pokemon, and it doesn't really get much better when it evolves into Xatu. It's overall a pretty average Psychic type. So before I move on to the next Pokemon on the list, we want to collect this item right here, which is a full restore. Okay, everybody, say it with me.
Wobbuffet!
Sorry, that was the best impression I could do, but Wobbuffet, number 202 in the Pokédex, is a Psychic type, and it is, bar none, one of the most interesting and unusual Pokemon that was released not only in Generation 2, but has been released in the franchise period. Wobbuffet only learns 4 attacks: Counter, Mirror Coat, Destiny Bond, and Safeguard. Wobbuffet has no way of directly dealing damage. Instead, it's all about counter-attacking. It takes prediction to use, but if you can use it right, it can be excellent in multiplayer. In single player, it's virtually useless. And heck, in competitive battling, I think it was banned at one point. All of its moves we know about, with the exception of Destiny Bond, which makes it so that if you faint, you take your opponent down with you. Not only that, it also has Shadow Tag, which prevents the opponent from switching. It's a tactical Pokemon for sure, but ridiculously effective if you are good at predicting and know how to use it. But like I said, it's only good for multiplayer, not so much for single player. All right. I think we are done here. So we're just going to go, actually, no, we're not going to go up there because we were just there a moment ago. And hello, Natu. I'd like to spend some time with you, but unfortunately I have a schedule to keep. There is an interesting structure that is in the middle of this ruin valley. But before we do anything, yeah, we need to put up a few max repels. Alright, down we go. And then around. Yes, this is where we need to go in order to reach the center. And there's also a new type of trainer for us to battle. This is not a hiker. Instead, this is a Ruin Maniac Larry. Much like hikers, they typically use rock and fighting Pokemon. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. We're getting really close to the end of the video, and we're almost 20 minutes in. So, I'm going to have to speed this up. Schneider is almost at level 55, so that's really nice. Yeah, you're going to send in another Machoke, so I'm going to send in Yulin, and we'll be done with it. One psychic attack, and you're going down. We are coming close to the end of the Sevi Islands. Aside from 6 Island, we only have 2 more islands to explore. Get it? Because it's called the Sevi Islands, and there are 7 of them? Eh? Okay. Yeah, I don't need to put the pieces together. Alright, here we go. The door doesn't budge at all. Check it more thoroughly? Yes. On closer inspection, there are several dots on the door. Once again, we have a message in Braille. And if you have a translator with you, you can see that the word in Braille is cut. This is why I had to bring Farfetch'd with me. Believe it or not, you have to use the move cut in order to open the door. Welcome to the dotted hole. Well, there's a hole. I don't see any dots, but yeah, let's head down. And there are 4 holes in each of the cardinal directions. Yep, it's the Lost Woods from Ocarina of Time. Except we're not hearing music from these holes. Instead, we have a monolith here with more Braille words. This word says up, so we're going to head up. This one says left. This one says right. And this one says down. And just like that, we have another gem. We obtained the ruby, and now we have a sapphire.
I guessed right. I was right in telling you. I knew that there was a sapphire here, so it belongs to me. I'll sell it to Team Rocket for serious money. Don't you glare at me like that. If you want it back, why don't you go get it after I sell it? I'll even tell you one of the passwords to Team Rocket's warehouse. The warehouse password I know is yes, nah, Chansey. I'm done. Don't think badly of me.
Groan. Yet another inconvenience. At least he was kind enough to tell us the password to the Rocket warehouse. I actually forget what this says. I don't know off the top of my head. It's certainly a long message, though. But, yeah, we gotta go after the guy. And we are done here on 6th Island. So, next time on Let's Play and Dub Pokemon Fire Red version, we're going to head to 5 Island because that's where the Rocket Warehouse is. See you guys next time.